lot of data. So we're going to go from data to a little bit of qualitative talk. We've all been concerned about crime in New York City, and we are so grateful to have Chief Schell here from the NYPD to share a little bit what's going on. And I'll just say that we are so appreciative for what our NYPD does to really make New York City a safer place. So please, Chief Schell.
All right, in the interest of time, I do not have a PowerPoint, but I like to refer to one of the slides I saw. The slide where he says you work 3 days, you're off 2 days. And I was I think I might call the mayor on that one, see how run that past him and see what he thinks about that. Good morning. My name is John Schell. I am the Chief of Patrol. For those who don't know what that is, I run the uniformed police force of 77 precincts and over 16,000 police officers and 3,000 civilians. So out of 55,000, I'm responsible for about 20,000 of them. So it takes a lot of my time. These aren't 8-hour days, and these are 7 days a week. I'd like to thank Dabbler Media and David Miller and George Lentz for having this, and for the City Guardian. So all of you who I can clearly see by your enthusiasm and energy this morning that you're committed to making this city and keeping this city the best place in the world to visit. So I thank you for that. What I'm going to do is give you just a quick overview of the state of New York City in terms of crime and quality of life, what we're seeing, what we expect in 2024. But I'm going to preface it by this. We are by far the safest big city in this country, hands down. I'll give you a couple of numbers that concern you. Just go back to we are the safest big city in New York City. So, we're going to use terms like perception and reality, controlling narrative. Our Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, Tariq Shepard, is here to join us, my partner in that helps me, helps us, helps our department get the factual narrative and the proper narrative through our media, so we control people's perceptions. We talk about reality. So where we are in New York City, the mayor, our team at NYPD kind of took a shift in 2022 when our chief of department, Jeff Maggi, was the chief of patrol. I came down as his number 2. And through the whole year, we made some changes to some key positions. Our police commissioner left and Eddie Caban took over. So our team really got started in 2022, beginning of 23, and was solidified in the middle of 2023. And I have some, I'll put it this way, when our teams came into play, crime in the city was up 38% last year. Our team came into play a little bit. We got that down to 22, definitely not a victory lap, but we like progress. And for 2023, our mandate for the mayor was quite simple: bring crime down from 2023, and we did that. We did it slightly, but I like to use the words progress and stabilization, and we're looking forward to a better 2024. So what do we do in crime? I'm glad to report that homicides, people getting robbed on the street, people's homes being broken into, people getting their credit cards stolen, grand larceny, people petty crime, retail theft, all came down greatly. What offset that was our rise in domestic felony assault. Unfortunately, number 2 to that was assaulting our police officers, which is quite disturbing, and how white people are emboldened to do that. And number 3, stolen cars, which is something that's really taken off in our city in the last couple of years, something we haven't spoken about for prior, 5-6 years, but now that's our number 1 leader in crime increase in terms of that category, stolen cars. I'm very glad to report this is just a testament of the hard work of our department, our young cops out there in our detective bureau. In the last 2 years, we have over 700 less shooting victims in the city. 700. I don't want to out any other jurisdictions or cities, but that is by far the best in this country. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by strategizing, looking at the data. But when the cops of the city in the last 2 years have locked up over 8,000 people for firearms, that's how you do that. We have a detective bureau because they call the best detectives in the world. When they solve over 7 out of 10 murders, that's how you send a message, that's how you do that. So, it's right, like I said, we are the safest city in the world. And our team downtown, you know, we're playing offense. We're gonna be legally aggressive in what we do. We use terms like firm but fair. Firm but fair, we give a lot of people a break out there. Not every person who commits a crime in our city is a criminal. Maybe they had a bad day, they made a mistake. But we're talking about recidivism, we're talking about the small group of people, in this city that continue to hurt our city. And that's our focus. You know, it's unfair in the media sometimes, you know, when crime is down, they want to talk about perception, right? Crime is up, they want to talk about crime is up. Now, we were down in crime, but some of our media has a role to play for their own vested interest. Now they want to talk about, well, crime is down, but it's not down large enough, okay? But how did we get here? How did we get here in 2023? And they like to compare crime now to 2019. I said, well, 2019, obviously, for COVID reasons. 2019, 2020. So, where do you come in? How can we help each other, right? So, I did some media interviews last week, and this topic came up, and I brought her up, and I said, okay, let's take a walk down memory lane. How did we get here? How did the world change? How did crime change in New York City? Well, let's call it like it is. You know, in 2020, our elected state legislature handed us bail reform. They handed us bail reform. What is bail reform? Well, bail reform caused a 30-something% increase in crime from 2020. They handed us raise the age, where now 16 and 17-year-old kids are treated as kids. And that's fine. Some teenagers, they're teenagers, they're children. And we're all for reform. So there's a small group that are hurting the city. I need a timeout chair. Okay? But less is more. Anyone know what less is more is? That came about last year, where parole people who are released on parole in the city. Judge tells them, hey, we're gonna let you out early. 2, 3 years, 4 years early. But we expect you to just adhere to a couple guidelines. You can't be out a certain amount of time, you can't do drugs. Can't hang out with known criminals, and you certainly cannot commit more crime. Well, guess what? That doesn't really exist anymore. They don't get violated. So this is what we've been handed 2020 to 2023, and COVID kind of slowed it down. So in reality, when COVID was over back in 2020, you guys know this. When was COVID over? 2021-ish? In the summer, into the fall. I know you. I saw those numbers, those graphs. Right? When the money started coming back in. All right. So, in 2022, the full year, we got the brunt of it. Everything at one time piled on us. But we've got a hold of it, we've lowered it, we've made our city safer, and we're going to work. Our team is committed, our mayor is committed, our police commissioner is committed to working harder than we did in 2023 to 2024 and get this city back to 2019, 2020, and then some. So that is our commitment to the city. And like I said, I graphed it 2 days, what a fantasy I have. But it's a 7-day, 24-hour job, and I accept it. I love it. I love the city. Born and raised in the city, Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. Mary's Brooklyn. Let's be a little specific. Unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, they're my friends.
Fourth Avenue.
What's that?
Fourth Avenue.
Fourth Avenue. No. Third Avenue. No. So, now in 2015, my wife took me across the Burroughs on the bridge. I sat down. I still, on the way home, we'll stop for a cocktail at my local gin mill in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. So let's talk quality of life. I think quality of life is the key to that perception issue we have. Quality of life, I think, is, crime is crime, everyone's crying down, and we'll get crime down. But it's quality of life, in my opinion, and our team's opinion, that makes this city go and helps tourism. It's what people see. It's how they feel and what they see. So where are we at with quality of life? This is big, and this is really a great job by our officers. We increased our quality of life enforcement. Simple summonses by 75%, but those summonses, the majority of those are the ones that bother people. The urinating in the middle of the street, the drinking on the street, the moped with no registration, pedicabs out in Times Square here. All these things that affect quite a lot of people want to see, our cops did it. Up 75%, that's a big number. In terms of the #1 community complaints I get from all facets of this city, you're all gonna nod your head when I tell you what they are. Smoke shops. All right, here's some yellow. Smoke shops, another dandy that a city council person told us, and I quote, "I'm sorry that our government laid this at your feet to handle." 2,554 smoke shops that on the surface are not supposed to be legal, but they're operating illegally. Most of them selling marijuana, narcotics, gummy bears. The kids think they're gummy bears that are laced with psychedelic mushrooms. Firearms behind the counters. Being robbed at an alarming rate. Who's robbing smoke shops? Kids are 15 to 19. Fast cash. So smoke shops, and what do? We teamed up with the sheriff. And we have over 500 submitted to be closed. 2022, we had one. We levied about $52 million in fines. So we're trying to mitigate that issue for all of our communities in the city that they just don't like them. We're all about small business, no doubt about it. But you have to operate within the rules of the law. Okay. Number two, your favorite topic probably, the illegal dirt bikes and mopeds and ghost cars and, you know, what a probably, I mean, I said smoke shops is probably #1, but I'll probably say that's #1. So how do we respond as a city in the last 18 months since our team took over? We have taken over 45,000 of these off the street, 45,000. Ghost cars, dirt bikes, ATVs, because not only is it a quality of life issue, and we've all seen it before, it's a crime issue. If I tell you that when we call things in the police department a pattern is 2 or more crimes of this committed by the same people, so 2 or more becomes a pattern. We have a 95% increase in that. Patterns being used by mopeds. So, major issue for us. That homeless, I like that, I hope that we've seen, I hope you nod your head, or that homeless encampments in the city are a lot less in the last 2 years. And we see that we've taken, cleaned, and helped, we got services for some, over 10,000 homeless that are in encampments on the street, especially in Manhattan. A reduction of about 30% in calls from the public, so I like to think we're getting better in that regard. And then back to illegal mopeds and driving ghost cars, about 65% decrease in people falling on that, so I think that reflects the efforts of what our team does. So, you know, quality of life, I think, is the key to success here, in terms of that perception for our New York as a city, feel comfortable and come back. Crime, we're going to continue to bring down, but you know, what I need from you is to spread the word of what I'm talking about today. Tell your friends, if you want change, one of the things we changed our posture, make all these meetings, people say, what can I do? What can we do? Vote. Vote for your elected official. Voice your opinion. That's the only, if you don't vote and you don't do that, then quite frankly, you really can't complain. Okay, I was on a show the other day. I love doing live TV because they tell you what they're going to ask you, and then they can't help themselves. Try to throw a gotcha in there, right? Especially early in the morning. And two things. We spoke about a few things, but 2 things. One was, I don't know if you saw a video the other day of 2 of our cops having to make an arrest in a train at the subway station for someone who jumped a turnstile. And some of our misguided, not all, some of our elected officials have different ideologies of what the city should be doing, what we should be doing. It is quite alarming. And to post something that we, the cops, sold to the fair beater, who was on with the switchblade, who, quite frankly, would have got a warning probably, possibly someone, but we give a lot of warnings. People, we understand. We understand. But when you're not going to cooperate, identify yourself and decide you want to be arrested and fight us on a subway platform, where if you fall 5 feet to the left or 5 feet to the right, guess where you're going to end up? Possibly in front of a train. When you say that we assaulted, it's very disturbing. But I pointed out that the same day, within 24 hours, there was a few more fair evasion arrests, specifically 3 of them, that the people who jumped the turnstile didn't have a switchblade on, they had 3 firearms on them. 3 separate guns. So it's that kind of narrative and speech though that we don't like. And last but not least, the trick question I was asking me at 9:30 in the morning. You ready for this? This picture of me sitting on one of those couches on Channel 11. It's a white couch. It's very comfortable. Now you're on live TV, so there's no takebacks here. So the reporter says, "Speaking of the mayor, my boss, what grade would you give the mayor?" So, through my Brooklyn upbringing, being street savvy, 10 minutes, sorry, I'm right there. And being street savvy and being able to think on my feet, but I didn't have to think on my feet because this was a true and honest answer. In the context of crime, Mayor Adams, my boss, allows us to do our jobs. He supports us tremendously. What he does behind the scenes doesn't advertise when he deals with the cops. The technology he allows us to buy and utilize to help the cause is unbelievable. So I gave him a strong A. And I said, if more cities in this country had Mayor Adams, we'd be a much safer place. That sounded like a pretty good answer, right? You know what his response was? Why not an A+. So I said, we'll discuss that in the next contract. So I thank you for your time. And just remember, like I started, this is the safest big city in the country. 8.5 million people, no doubt about it. In 2024, my commitment, Commissioner Gabon, First Deputy Commissioner Tanya Kinsella, Chief Manager, myself, Commissioner Shepard, and all those young cops out there, we're going to work harder in 24. We're going to get this where it's back to be, where it should be, and we're looking forward to it, so thank you.
Well, we give you an A+. Chief Shell, thank you. On behalf of everybody, we so much appreciate what the NYPD does. All right.